Hi, I'm Zabless, and this is Unreal Engine 5. Today I'm going to show you how to get to the Metasound stuff and how to do sound design stuff with it. So you want to get the content drawer. This is the content drawer. You can do that. You can control space. It's a fun keyboard shortcut. Right click, you note, not there. Not in the thing. It's not in any of these either. You have to enable it because it is a plugin. So you go to settings. Plugins. Type in meta, get Metasound. Type in enabled. Agree that it's beta. Hit the restart. It's gonna do a thing. Give it a second. The first few times you do this, it's gonna load shaders for like, I don't know if that was just a me thing. Does that happen to anyone else? Has anyone else been doing this and like having to sit for like an hour while it loads thousands of shaders? That was my life for a bit. I didn't do that like doing this, so that's nice. But yay. Now we have Metasound stuff. Where's the go away button? That's like a serious okay, wow, was that X invisible a second ago, or is that just me? Cool. Anyway, right click, sounds, Metasound, bam. Now we're in this is just a content drawer. This is just the assets available in the thing. We just made an object that's an asset just there. It's not in anything. It's not associated with anything. It's just naked object in space. It isn't any of this stuff that is already aligned and placed and done and linked and gone. And like when you hit play, stuff happens. When you hit play, nothing does anything to this at the moment. And if you go here, if you double click on it, you get the editor. So I pointed out that like reality about it because people who use Unreal Engine 5 aren't going to be surprised by this. But if you're from DAW musical creation universe, then you get ready for a whole lot of things you're not used to being not here. For example, what we're looking at right now isn't so much like, okay, this is the space where you load the plugin and then you do the thing and now you're making the sounds. This is more like we're inside one key of a piano. And even further than that, we're like inside us, one of the strings inside the thing that gets hit by the hammer inside the piano, depending on how complicated you want to be about it. Moral of the story is, we have to not so much think about an element that we're looking at as being like a playable instrument so much as it is like the event of when the instrument is this. Because you're just going to make the keys. Or you can code up a whole thing to be an instrument. Like you can do that too, but you have to, is sort of the point. But you right click it and you get a bunch of options. And I immediately recommend that you Google these terms if you've never seen them before or if you just have not ever bothered to learn what they mean. Because they're actually they're not as complicated as they seem. And the only reason why I'm not quoting them to you is because I am so freakishly new with it that I just don't want to interrupt correct information. So go literally do that, especially because a lot of the things you'll discover is the importance between the difference between audio and float, which I will just say the difference of. Audio rate, like signal, complicated, a lot, dense. It's very specific for very specific things. Float is just, it means it has a value that's decimal places. I don't specifically remember if it's exactly 2 or if it just means maybe just 1 or if it's just any number of decimal places, but it basically means if you see a thing that has a decimal place value as a value, that's what that is. And this is cool because there's this whole section called conversions. Like, for example, audio to float, which is super cool because in the audio section, has like mixtures and things, but there's also generators, like and filters and things. So here's our list of generators that just start to look familiar. Now we have our filters and things like that, and within all of these things here, we have essentially like reactor level generation capacity. This is wherein we could develop whole instrument plugins to be things, and we probably will, won't we? And all this math stuff is about the things that will, when done like at audio rates, creates a lot of what we understand plugins as processes to be, as like facilities of analog stuff. So, for example, we could pull up a saw, and how this works is by default, you plug it into the thing like Patcher, kind of like Patcher, but not like Patcher. And now when I hit play, oh god, it's gonna be kind of loud, so I'm not actually gonna do that. I'm gonna go get an audio mono mixer to reduce the level. Oh yeah, so yeah, go away. Break link. No, Link, the hero of time. Cool, I'm gonna gain you. 0.5, hooray. Now when I hit play, saw wave. Handy dandy beater. So, this is now an asset. This asset is now like the action of a saw wave. Now you could have a trigger happen inside Unreal proper, and when you say this when happens, what does trigger possible asset is this Metasound, which is basically could be considered an instance of reactor, and that's what's up. And depending on how you deal with your triggers, if you could convey such information as like MIDI and whatnot, then there's things to do with that, and then places to put that information. So, for example, this is a float value, and then this is an audio value. Purple comes off as audio, and then there's float stuff. So, like, if I wanted to audio array modulate stuff, I'm making assumptions here because I haven't actually tried that, but that's sort of what those conversion modules are for. But then, when you want to make other stuff happen, like enveloping and whatnot, we have the ADSR envelope, but we have the audio and the float options. In this case, we want the float option because the parameter I'm going to mess with, the gain, is a float parameter. On trigger. So boof. Here's our on play. And boy, this seems like a lot of options for an enveloper, but this is actually pretty like just all of the options you'd want to have for an envelope. And I really do mean all of them. With them being what some of these are. Plus what you can do with I'm making lots of assumptions about possibilities here because I'm always about Mr. Audio Array Modulate all the stuff, and I just prefer that like if you can link up the thing, that the thing will do precisely as you say it will. But that's just very not the case most of the time, especially with digital things. So I'm real like taking that kind of thing with a grain of salt, but like I am excited overall about possibilities all this stuff represents. 0.5. Yeah, release time. Why not? Fun stuff. See what else? I could put this to the envelope to the frequency, which is always weird. Oh, and I freaked it out. I wonder why. Genuinely, I wonder why. Let's break the link and see if that does it. Since that was pretty much the only thing I did. Nope. Unsure. Well, that's one of the many confusing things about software like this. I'm not even just an Unreal Engine 5 noob, but for which just about everyone is, but I'm a total, utter, complete anything but FL Studio noob. So just looking at this is a bit difficult for me, but I wanted to figure out how to get here the second I saw it in that release video. So I wanted to have a video showing you how to get to this point, and then you guys who perhaps know more about these sort of things than I do will have an easier time doing things. I, of course, will also be trying to learn how to do things here, and we'll be returning to show you how to do, because like sound effecty stuff, holy crap, like you see how there's phase, offset, modulation, all these things. This is all I need to synthesize any sound. We don't even have to go so far as to give a damn about additive synthesis, but hey, I mentioned that there's basically Reactor in here, right? And Razor is a Reactor plugin. So it's not as though we can't do that either, which is to say, oh man, I'm going to show people how to synthesize explosions, and it's going to be good. If you have any questions about this, join the club. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And as usual, have a nice day.